Okay, so we will continue to model our car. We will add the spokes here. So we will go to the side view. And if you hit the 4 key, you can go into wireframe mode. What we'll do is create a cylinder and make the radius 0.1, maybe 0.05, and then the height will be 0.5, 0.7. Okay. So we will control D that, J, and copy it, control D, J, control D, J, select all of them. They're not in the right place. So if you go to 4, place them in the center here. Okay, so that would be the wheel. What we can do is select one, shift, select all, and then we'll go to mesh and combine. Okay, so it becomes one object. We'll go to assign new material, shader, base color. We'll put a dark blue color, and specular level will increase the roughness. Okay, that would be the wheel. You can assign a white texture to the wheel. Okay, so we can now select both of these, control D and move it back, shift both of them, control D, other side. The top view, you can make sure that the distance is same on both sides, more or less. Okay, there will be one stepney, so you can select this, control D and move it, J and rotate it, the J key to 90 degrees. That would be the stepney. We need the steering wheel, so we'll create another object, a torus, 0.1 and 0.4. 0.05, 0.2, The top view, position it in the center. The side view, you can hit the J key. I'm hitting the H key instead of J. Okay. So we got that steering wheel. The steering wheel needs to be bigger. So I'll make it 0.3. Can have the same color as this, I guess. Go to attribute editor. First of all, we'll name it purple texture. Select this. Assign new material. Assign existing material. Purple texture. Okay, so our car is ready now. Okay. So the car has the 4 wheels. Everything is looking nice. You can add more details to the car if you need. Now what we need to do is we need to parent everything to the base. Select everything, Alt deselect the base, Control deselect the base, and then select the base again. So last thing is the base, and we'll hit the P key. Select this. Now the entire car can be moved by selecting the base. Now we need to rotate our wheel. Okay, so we don't need to rotate this, or we can select both and then rotate both of these together. Okay, so what we can do is now select this base, hit the S key on frame number 1, and our animation is going to be at 24 frames per second, 2 seconds long. So at 48, so at 1 the car will be somewhere here, and at move it back and hit the S key. So add a key, go to 48, move it in the front and hit the S key. So now our car is moving from one place to another. Okay, so a very simple animation. The car is just moving from one place to another. Now we need to rotate the wheels. So I'll select the 2 wheels, and you can see there's no key for the wheels. So S, and at 48 we need to rotate this, rotate X. Okay, so I typed say 400. X becomes Y. So one is X and one is Y. So Y will be 400 S, 400 S. Okay, so this will be 0 S, and Y will be 0 S. Okay, so we'll do the same thing with all of it. This one S, rotation is Y, go to 48, 400 S. This one S, this is X, 400 S. Okay, so it is better to practice this. So it's a good practice exercise. There are 4 wheels. There are other ways, so you can speed this up. I just want you to develop the practice of creating, assigning keys, going to 48, 400 S, select this one, 400 S, select this one, 400 S, select this one, 100 S. Okay, so it's important that you keep saving your work because Max can crash anytime for no particular reason and you don't want to lose all your work. So it's a good idea to go to save your scene and save it. I already have car 1, so I'll save it at car 2. Okay, so if the file crashes, you at least have something to go back to rather than losing all your work. Now what we need to do is create a camera. So we'll go to create cameras, camera. Okay, then we go to panel, perspective, camera. So now we are looking through the camera. So you have to now decide what area is going to get rendered. Not everything gets rendered. So we go to view, camera settings, resolution gate. Okay, so now you know that only this is going to get rendered. So we need to decide a starting point for our animation at frame number 1. Okay, how close the car is to the camera, and then at 48. So this is what we are going to animate. So there are different principles of animation, and staging is one of the principles. So you need to get a good view of the car, and also it should give the illusion of whatever you want to create. So this seems like a good camera angle. So you have almost 3/4 of your car seen, and then most of the time the entire car will be seen. We are close up to the car, so you can see the details of the car, and 48 ends here. Okay, so it's not very fast, not very slow. There's a button here which says motion blur. So if you turn that on, you can see the motion blur. If you have motion blur to your camera, which is what we are going to add. Okay, now the 2 things we need to do, we need to create a plane for the ground, which we will scale big. Okay, and now that we have already animated the car, we'll have to move the plane down, and it's better that the wheel is slightly inside than to have the wheel floating up in the air. Okay, so that's the plane. Might need a wider, bigger area. Okay, we'll control V that and J and create a backdrop for our car. Move it back. Okay, and also move it up. Now we have these two objects, and we will make sure that they are okay, parallel to the camera somewhat. Okay, so uh, now if you render this scene, everything is black. Okay, so we need to add a light. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply go to Arnold and add a sky dome light. Okay, and then if you hit render, you will get shadows and light. So it's a very simple basic rendering setup. Now things are pixelated, but we are not going to go and fix anything. You can see there's also some reflection happening. So if you want things to reflect onto the ground, you can assign a white texture. Okay, so you can get some reflection onto the floor as well. I don't like that because we need the car to stand out, so a gray color works well in the background. But we will leave this and see how this looks, because I already tried the gray color. So look at how this works out. Okay, now you can see that there is no motion blur, so we need to Maya to tell that it should create motion blur. Okay, so if you go to render settings and then go to Arnold renderer, motion blur, enable it, and then if you render this, you will get motion blur. Okay, so now we just need to render these 48 images and then put it together in After Effects. So we will do that in the next class.